Hi, this is a GMAT question from gmatquestions.org. Let's read the question. If x is not equal to 0, which of the following is equivalent to x to the power 4 minus 1 over x to the power 4 plus x squared? One way to do this question is through factorization, as you know, because we are in the section dealing with factorization. But you should be able to see that this question can be dealt with factorization. Another way to do this question is to pick an adequate number. But sometimes that particular number to pick can be tricky. Don't even try 0 because 0 wouldn't work. X is not equal to 0. 1 gonna be confusing. If you choose 1, you're gonna realize that for 1 you're gonna have maybe 2 different or 3, even up to 3 different answers. So then you're gonna have to do it all over again. So yes, you can pick a number, maybe 2, maybe 4, whatever. But picking numbers is great. Many times it turns out to be great. But there are times when picking numbers is not necessarily straightforward. You actually may lose time picking different numbers because the number you pick can yield to different can yield to the same answer, can yield to having maybe A and B being the same or B and D being the same, whatever. So the point I'm making here, don't think that by picking numbers it's gonna be always that easy. There are times when it's the case, but the time it's not necessarily the case. What's the point here? The point is that it's always good to know a different method, a mathematical way of solving this type of question. Okay, if you don't know that method at all, you don't know that this is actually probably a factorization, that's what you're going to be dealing with. In that case, you may try to pick different numbers and hopefully you'll find the correct answer. Having said that, let's attack the question using factorization. Okay, the type of factorization we're going to deal with here is the common factor. Essentially, the common factor for the denominator. I must emphasize we're going to introduce the common factor on the denominator here, in the denominator. But for the top part, we may use a different type of factorization. And for the numerator, we're going to use the difference of two squares. Essentially, x to the power 4 minus 1 is really the difference of two squares. It's x to the power 4, which is the square of x squared, minus 1, which is the square of 1. So if I rewrite this, I can say that this is the same as x squared squared minus 1 squared. You see, so you have an entity here. You can call it a squared minus b squared. And you know how to solve that. We already dealt with this. So this would mean that this is the same as x squared plus 1 times x squared minus 1. Okay? And we can keep going, by the way, here. This particular one, the first one, we cannot do much about it. But the second one here, we can factor it further. Let's hold on. Yeah, let's basically leave it as it is right now. And we'll see if you're going to need to do that. If you're going to need to factor this out, the x squared minus 1, which is x plus 1 times x minus 1, if you're going to need to do that. Okay, having said that, x to the power 4 plus x squared, which is the denominator here, this is a 4 here, this should give us, if we factor out the highest exponent, which is x to the power 2, because x to the power 2 is inside x to the power 4 and also is inside itself. So really x to the power 2 is the highest exponent we can factor out. This should give us x to the power 2, this is left here, plus 1. Okay? Great. So x to the power 4 minus 1 over x to the power 4 plus x squared from the work we did on the right side is x squared plus 1 times x squared minus 1 divided by x squared times x squared plus 1. And easily, I'm going to use a different color here. You can see that we can cancel out the x2 plus 1. It's not 0. It cannot be 0. So we can cancel it out. Okay. Remember, when you cancel out things, be careful. You know, sometimes. Okay. We know that x squared plus 1 cannot be 0. So we can cancel it out here. Okay. So next. So this is going to give us x squared minus 1 in the numerator divided by x squared. Okay, I hope you guys agree with that. Now, is this answer, you know, in the answer choices? Let's see. Not quite. We don't see it. Probably there is another transformation taking place. So if you look at it more carefully, you realize that this is the same as, we can separate these two, x squared. Mathematically, you can say this is the same as x squared over x squared minus 1 over x squared. You know your fraction. I separate this fraction. It's like having a minus b. If you, I can write it here. A minus b over c is the same as a over c minus b over c. That's what I did here. Okay, I hope you understand that. And remember, x cannot be 0. You know, so we can cancel this out. So this is x squared, where x squared is 1 minus 1 over x squared. That's it. So as you can see, the correct answer is D. That wasn't such a, it was an easy question. You know, it requires you to know factorization pretty well and to really pay attention to what's happening. You may be disappointed when you come here and you don't see the answer. But then even if you're stuck here, the proper things to do is maybe to pick numbers now. At this point, you can now pick a number and see this, what it's going to yield and compare to what you have here. At least you have done, you know, 80%, 90% of the job. And the point I'm making here, don't be stuck with one method. You can actually mix two different methods. You can use some math, but at one point, you can also pick numbers from that point. Okay, from that point you can you know, pick a number and find maybe the correct answer. You know, don't think that it's just one method or the other. You can mix two different methods to in order to solve the question. I hope I'm making myself clear here. Okay, you're not stuck with one single method. You can use two different techniques in order to solve these questions. Okay, having said that, let's write down the answer. So here the correct answer I'm going to be writing on the right side. So it is D is the correct answer. Okay, it's right here. D. That's it. Thank you for watching. This is a question from GMAT questions.org.